good day, good morning, depending where you're watching me from. So good to be live today, Tuesday, the 26th of March 2024. I'm sure I got that right. How are you doing? Hello, who is with me on this live? Just say hi. Just say I like your face. I know you like my face, of course, don't you? Okay, so this is Mayene Yang, the creative director of Matt's Foodies. We are live right now, both on YouTube and on Facebook. And I want to share something very important with us, and I want it to be very interactive. So feel free to drop any question on the comment box. Okay, feel free to raise your hand. Just feel free to ask any question, and I'll be right here to respond, both while the live is on and after it is on. If you're watching it now or you're watching it later, be rest assured that I'm going to respond to every question. All right, so feel free to do so. And now we start in the name of God the Father, and God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit. Father, I trust that you will visit someone, that someone will learn something from this video today that will turn his or her life around, that will help the person to serve more, that will help the person to have better nutritional choices. In the name of Jesus, we have prayed. Amen. Amen. Thank you, Jesus. And thank you to everyone who has joined me on this live and who is watching afterwards. All right. So I'm not wasting any time. I'm not waiting for anyone. We're going straight into the discussion. So please let me know if you can hear me. All right. Let me know if you can hear me. All right. I'm discussing something very important: how to spend less on food in 2024. Around the globe, there is a sudden inflation in the cost of food. And the truth about it, especially in places like Nigeria, I think it's even everywhere, that people's salary are not even increased, but there is inflation like every minute, every day. So how are people going to cope? That is the purpose for this discussion today. So, like I said earlier, feel free, in case you're just joining us, feel free to, hey, Miss Emanuele, good to have you. Hey, Duchess Courage, good to have you. Yeah, let me know if you're live with me. Yes, I'll definitely give you a shout out. Thank you so much for your comment. This means a lot to me. All right, so how do you go through the season without being suffocated, without being swallowed up, without being completely, you know, not sure of what to do, without being confused, without being depressed? You know that this thought can even cause depression, but that's not your portion, right? So this is a very important discussion. So I'm going straight into the discussion without wasting of your time, because your time is so precious and you are precious to me as well. So if you miss any part, I'm sure you can watch it after now. You can have a replay. All right, so I have 10 things on my list and a bonus as well. I have 10 points on how you can spend less on food in 2024, and I also have a bonus. All right, so what is the number one on my list? I think most people know about this, but they find it difficult to implement it. All right, number one is limit eating out. And if possible, don't even eat out. Is that possible? Yes. If you must eat out, let it be that you have enough resources to do so. You can't be eating out and at the end of the day you are stranded, your family is stranded, you're not able to meet up other needs. So before you think of eating out, make sure you have enough resources to do so, right? And by that, I remember that I use the word limit. That doesn't mean that once in a while you cannot give yourself a treat, okay? Right? But if you used to eat out every day, now you should limit that. If you used to eat out every weekend, now you should limit that. You can have better options. So when we say limit eating out, those things that you eat out, you can actually prepare them yourself, right? Yes, you can. You can prepare them yourself. That is why we have this channel and we have the recipes and how you can do those things with ease. It is going to save you a lot of money. It's going to save you a lot of money. So number one, we say limit eating out. For example, if you are going to work all day, maybe you are a teacher or you're a banker, or maybe a medical doctor, you're going to spend the whole weekend on duty, or maybe a whole day from 7 a.m. to about 5 p.m. or whatever is the time. And you know you're going to eat breakfast, you're going to eat lunch. What should you do? You should have a lunch box. Do you know that lunch boxes are not just for kids? Lunch boxes are not just for kids. Now, if you're not in the car, what you should do, you can actually maybe some snacks in your handbag, or if you're a man, you can have a support bag that is so light that no one even notices what is there, right? So, cut costs and limit eating out. Limit eating out and cut costs. Limit eating out and save some money. It will amaze you the amount of money you are going to save. I mean, to food business, and you know that food business is so stressful, so you don't expect anyone to run a restaurant. The person has some people to pay, yes, the people has staff to pay. The person is going to pay rent. The person is going to pay for some bills like water and power supply and the rest. You know, that is why we charge a lot, because we need to incorporate all those bills so we can use and pay the people that are working with us, right? So if you know you cannot afford to pay, for example, the cheapest you can buy roasted fish, maybe like between 6 to 10,000 naira, right? So if you don't want to do that, you can just use your 3,500 naira and buy a large fish and roast by yourself, and you will see that these things are easy to do. All right. So if you're the type, you know you are busy, you don't have time, you can still buy out once in a while. Remember, I use the word limit eating out. All right, so without further ado, I'm gonna go straight to the second point. So if you have any question on this first point, leave it in the comments, in the chat box, so I will respond to that later. Right, I know that somebody is getting value for this live already. Yes, so I'm going into, yes, sorry, there was it. Yes, sorry, there was it. Little interruption there. Okay, I'll be right. I'll be think. Yes, so it is healthier. Yes, thank you for having you back on Facebook. In case you missed anything, I said people on YouTube, please permit me to just repeat for a second that the second point is process swap from processed foods to whole foods. By that I mean, if you're used to eating using something like corned beef, you can swap from corned beef to uh, minced meat, and you can get minced meat at a very cheaper rate, right? Is that you get from a place like ShopRite, or you actually tell the butcher people to mince the meat for you. They have a way of cutting it, and it's actually tiny in so it's not the big chunks. They have a way of cutting it. So if you are to get one 1 kilo of meat, can give you up to 3 cans of corned beef. That will amaze you, right? All right. All right. Please, if you're joining me, let me know if you can hear me. Yeah, I know that it's running again. Sorry for the interruptions. All right, so I said that the third on my list is buy foods in bulk. All right, somebody who is living alone may be wondering, man, that doesn't work for me. No, don't conclude. Wait till you hear the next point just after now, and that's in just a few, maybe like the next 5 minutes or 3 minutes or so. Like, so buy food in bulk. We already know what it means to buy food in bulk, so I'm not going to spend too much time here. So buying food in bulk is going to save you the cost, and if light is stable where you live, you can actually make a lot of stew and freeze. You can freeze some of your, you know, your foods. You can refrigerate your vegetables and your fruits. You know, something like maybe watermelon. You don't need to buy every day. If you buy in bulk, you can actually serve it in the refrigerator. All right. Apologies again for all the interruptions. It's actually due to my network provider. I'm sure that it will go well after now. Thank you for standing by me. Thank you for staying tuned. All right. So the next one is, don't buy more than you need. Yeah, I've over the years I've tried to buy things in bulk, and then I'm also very careful. When you say you want to buy things in bulk, and maybe you're living alone, or maybe you don't have constant power supply, you need to apply wisdom here. So when you should buy like lots of fruits and vegetables, you can actually buy a part of it. Maybe if it is in if it's in kilos, or how, whatever the measurement of that. So, I believe, and let me know you're with me. Let me know more than what you need. And do not forget, you're supposed to write the questions to respond to, because as soon as questions come in, I'm going to pause and respond to them after the points I am talking on, or I'm going to respond to them after the whole video. So do well to send in your questions if you have any. Thank you so much. All right. Do not buy more than what you need. Then the very fifth point is, do your meal prep. Do your meal preparation, or you can as well hire someone to do what if you are very busy. All right. So I said, if you are very busy, the number fifth point I said, do your meal prep by yourself. Carrots, and chop them. Prep all the things that you're going to need, especially for your dinner. That is where most people find it difficult. You can always have things like soup and stew for lunch in your freezer, but things for dinner is where a lot of people find it difficult. If you do your meal prep, like have your chopped carrot that are not going to wilt so fast if NEPA takes light, or if there is no light, if there is power outage. Sorry, my Nigerianness is still trying to come out in this video. In Nigeria, we call it NEPA. All right, thank you for bearing with me. All right, so if you know that you have a constant power supply, you can chop your vegetables. Refrigerator and freezer are very important. It's going to save you cost, and it's going to save you time for your kitchen time. Yes, the time you use to prepare your meals is going to save you a lot of time. So somebody needs at least a small freezer that comes with a small, that comes with the fridge refrigerator part. All right, I know that, and if you have a large family, of course, you should actually go for the big one where you can save a lot of things. So your meal preparation is very important. I mentioned earlier that if you know you are too busy, you can for you. And then yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for your comments and thank you for joining me on this live. All right. So that's a feed point. The feed points I take it again. Do your meal prep or hire someone to do it for you once in a while. Okay. Right. So that is very important. And then the sixth one, the sixth one, I'm wondering if I should say it or not. But if you want to come to terms with reality, reduce your family size. That's the fifth point. The sixth point. How is it possible to reduce your family size? By that I mean maybe you have lots of members. Your family will not want to hear this, but the truth is that the more the number of people that live with you, the more the money you spend on feeding, the more the number you spend on everything, basically everything. The person is going to charge phone, the person is going to use the toiletries, the person is going to use water, the person is going to use a lot of things. Now for people from the royal families, please pardon me, you're not a part of this. You can go ahead and keep your large families. All right. And then for people who are so used to keeping large families, do not bother. This is not for everyone. Okay, we're just relating this to people who are still struggling to be on their feet, people who are struggling to make some ends meet, people who are struggling to build their family life, right? One of the wisest things you're going to do is to reduce your family size. I've once listened to a man of God who said, I don't know if I should mention his name. Yeah, it was a good advice. He said, if you're just getting married early and you live in a place like Abuja, Nigeria, or wherever you live, maybe United States or Canada or UK, he said, you and your wife, all you need is a 1-bedroom flat. Now, this is going to help you cut costs all round. But in this video, we're just channeling it to cutting costs on food, okay? All right. So if this doesn't pertain to you, do not bother. Now, how is that going to help you? The man went further to explain for 1 year. When they your life, when they visit you, I know that is 1 bedroom that is for you and your spouse. They are going to limit they will not extend their stay. Okay. Now, for other people, so before I go to the 7 points, do well to like this video, do well to leave a comment, and please share the video, share it to let me just take a moment for us to share this video to your WhatsApp. Do me that favor. Thank you so much. There are a lot of people around you on your friends list that might want to listen to what you're listening to now, and I know that it will really help them, right? Okay, so thank you for doing that. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for leaving a comment. All right, so reduce your family size as much as you want. I want to really take the next few seconds to clarify this. I did not mean you should throw your children out of the house. Some parents throw their children out of the house and force them to go into habits that they shouldn't go into before they even come of age, before they even stand on their feet, before they can even get a good job. Please, that's not what I mean, please. I'm just talking about extended family. I'm just talking about other people. I'm just talking about maybe friends who may want to stay with you for a lengthy period of time, okay? And then next on my list is swap from throwing it out to using it. By that I mean things you should throw out. You know that these things have not gone bad. you can actually use it. For example, you can actually use overripe plantains. Actually switch a yes, and you can store them in your refrigerator, and you see that this can take you for 1 or 2 or a few days, depending on how much it is or on your family size. Okay, so this is going to help you save costs on just throwing it out to go and buy more plantains. And the same is applicable to things like bananas. Do not trash your overripe bananas. You can actually use them to make things like banana bread or maybe banana muffins, right? You can introduce them to smoothies, okay? You can introduce them. The other time, we did not have constant power supply, so I left my watermelon in the freezer. You know, I'm not supposed to leave watermelon in the freezer because once light comes, it's going to freeze, right? It's going to freeze, and even it won't be good for eating. So if you know that you don't want it to defrost again after it's being frozen, especially fruits and vegetables, what do? You can transform them to smoothies, okay? So instead of trashing the overripe bananas, instead of trashing frozen, more healthy stuff to eat without wasting. All right? Yeah, I don't know if anybody has a question. I'd like to take one or more question before I proceed. So if you have any question, please do well to leave in the comments. Do well to leave any question you have in the comments. In case you're just joining this live, like I said, I have 10 points to share with us plus 1 bonus, and that's going to be 11 points. How amazing is that? So let me quickly do a recap of what we've discussed so far. Number 1, limit eating out, and we explained that you can still do this once in a while, but if you want to engage the habit of eating out every time, just be sure that you're going to spend a lot. I might give you 2 bonuses. Do not go anywhere. All right, the second point, I said swap from eating processed foods to whole foods, and I explained that. Number 3, I said buy food in bulk, and then I said that might not, and then that took us to the 4th point where I said do not buy more than what you need. Buy as much as you need per time, maybe something that will last you for a week, or maybe you can choose to shop weekly, right? For some people, they may choose to shop monthly. You can choose to shop weekly. Some can choose to shop 2 weekly. Whatever works for you, right? Okay, and then I said do your meal prep yourself. So instead of buying the already cut vegetables like carrots and the rest, you can actually do that yourself. For me, it doesn't even take much to cut carrots, but sometimes we find ourselves so busy. No, once in a while, feel free to still buy, okay? But limit it. That's the essence of this video. We're trying to see how we can cut costs on feeding in 2024. I know that this video is going to be very valuable to most people. All right, so feel free to share. And then the next one on my list here, I said so from throwing it out to using it, and I gave an example to overripe plantains and bananas and other fruits, right? And take the next few seconds to share before I go to the 8th point. It is consider shopping from less expensive places. Consider shopping from less expensive. If you're in a place like the US, like Canada, like the UK, where you know that, or even places like Nigeria, maybe Abuja and Lagos, where you know that African foods are really expensive, you should actually consider ordering for your food stuff from abroad. And that way, maybe you can have some friends and some family members to share with, so that it will reduce the cost of we're billing these things to you. It will reduce the cost for the cost of um I need to be sure that we're back. I don't want us to miss anything. I need to be sure. Yeah, it is running. So let me thank you for staying on this video. Expensive. Sometimes you can actually take a drive out to a far place, or maybe to a village mall, or to a village market or something, somewhere, you can get these things at a more affordable rate. Okay, now I'm going to go into the next one right now. If you can hear me, please leave a comment or leave a thumbs up or say hi. If you can hear me, say hi in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you can hear me, I'm about to go to the 9th point. So if you can hear me, say hi, leave a comment, let me know that we are together. Okay, once again, I'm going to try to be as fast as possible to give the remaining points so we can get out of here as soon as we can. So I'm about to mention the 9th point. Okay, yeah, Jamila, thank you for your comment. She said, Chai, I love eating out. I have been trying to make my favorites at home, though, to save money. Yeah, it's good to make your favorites at home. Something like shawarma. Do you know that shawarma is very easy to make? Something like burger is very easy to make. And those things that it doesn't mean you cannot eat at once in a while, right? But those things that are very expensive, to have outside. Once anytime you're less busy, you can actually make them yourself. You'll be amazed at the amount of money you will be able to save from preparing these meals yourself. You'll be so amazed, and it will help you to make investments for the future. Yeah, she said, and I told myself that Whole Foods will save me money from future bills. Definitely. All right, so it is a good way to go, to eat less outside, eat less junk food. When you prepare them yourself, you actually be able to put a check to what goes into your food. For example, if you're checking your weight, you'll be able to reduce the oil quantity or the butter quantity or the cheese quantity or the cream quantity. Okay, all right, so that is very important. So apart from it having it to save costs for the future, it will also help you save check your weight. It will help you, it's healthier food options. All right, it helps you controls what goes into your food. All right, okay, so yeah, Ojima says, what if you're too busy and cook consistently at home as a guy? What if you're too busy to cook consistently? All right, the truth is that the more busier we get, the more we tend to eat out. That is why, as we grow, something like a refrigerator is very important. So if you have just once in a week to cook, that is very, it's going to save you a lot of costs. If you have once in a week to cook, so you can make stew and serve in the refrigerator. You can make something like things like soup and serve in the refrigerator. All right. So if at all you eat out, it will just maybe snacks, and then when you get home, you can eat the main meals. All right. But there are times that we need to be realistic as well. There are times that you can not completely control this. You what you're doing, getting busy with, can fetch you money, either now or in the future. So it is better to get the money and have money to eat out than to say you want to cook and you don't have money to eat at all. I don't know if I made my point clear. Yes, I'm sure I did that. All right, so you have a way of managing till you are able to have that freezer that will serve your costs. Okay. Thank you so much for the comment. Thank you for that question. All right. The very next one on my list, which is the number 9, is set your food budget. Know what you eat, know how much you want to spend on weekly basis. And let me give you the truth is that you should make room for excesses. For example, when you have guests, right? When you have a guest, the truth is that you're going to try to find a way to make the guest comfortable. So you may overshoot the budget that you wanted to use for feeding originally. So that is why when you are making your budget, you should have room for excesses, okay? You should have room for excesses. For example, if you're budgeting to use maybe in a week for your family, for you and your family, you should make, and maybe you have a guest to visit over the weekend, you should have an excess of $50. All right, or maybe you are planning to use 50,000 naira to eat for that week, right? And you should have an excess of 10,000 naira. So when you are making your budget, have room for excesses, okay? So, but a budget is really important. It will make you have control over what you spend. The truth is that a lot of people spend everything, their monthly allowances on food. And life is not supposed to be that way. If you continue living your life that way, you may not have something to fall back on in the future. You may not have a long-term savings for the future. As I'm talking to you, I'm also talking to myself. So it is very important to keep track of your expenditure, of your monthly expenditure. For example, if you have a family of 5 or a family of 4, a family of 3, or whatever is the size of your family, you can actually start from the first day of April, okay? We're almost in April. Or you can start from this coming week, and you have a diary, you have a notepad, maybe you can call it a feeding notepad or something, where you have a description and expenditure, a list of everything you buy for that week. All right? Have a list, and then you know, okay, over the week I spent this, and the next you coming, you spend that on groceries, you spend that on whole food and on all that, okay? At the end of the month, you can go through that list, and then you will know, okay, this is what I spent. And if you realize that you spent too much, you can actually look at things that were not too useful, or maybe things you bought that you did not necessarily need all of it, all right? Or maybe things that you could replace cheaper food options with. So you can go through that list, and then you know what to strike, what to cancel, or what to replace with what, and it will help you set your food budget the coming month. And as the month goes by, you keep improving. So at the end of the day, you're feeding for you, for yourself, or for you and your family on monthly basis. Is it possible to keep track record of these things? I think it is very important. Sometimes it's very difficult to. We heard a story of someone who wanted to check weights, and the person was overweight. Some people who are over some things, okay? So please don't feel bad if you're on the big side. So I heard this story of someone who was fat, and he was trying to lose weight, and at the point the person could afford to buy to spend 100 naira. I don't know how we managed to do it. That must be many years ago. So whatever, maybe we can say that should be like 1,000, maybe $1 or $2, or nowadays, depending on where you live or depending on where you're watching this video from. All right. So the person made up his mind that he's not going to spend. He was obviously apparently living alone. So he said he was not going to spend more than that amount. Let's say 500 or 1,000 naira on monthly basis, and he kept to buy that he will drink with water, because if he buys with his fizzy drink, it's going to be more expensive. So he might just buy a cara for breakfast or something, and then in the afternoon he made sure that he did not spend more than the amount of money. The best way to do it is to do it daily. All right. And if you're buying food in bulk, maybe weekly. All right. So he made sure that he did not exceed the amount proposed to spend. This person was able to lose weight drastically. Number one. Number two, he was able to save a lot of money. He was able to. So if you are in that category, the category where you spend all your earnings before the month even runs out, this checking what you eat, one major thing that takes our money is food. I've tried it, a lot of things. For me, it's not even something like clothes. For me, people like us with children, it's not even something like clothes and all that. And it's food. Right? So, but there is a way to do this. Just apply, watch this video again, okay? All right. So I just shared the ninth point with us, which is set your food budget. And I know that was a real good one for most of us. All right. And then number 10. So far, does anybody have a question? Does anybody have a question? Please, if you have a question, do well to leave in the chat box, whether you're watching now or you're planning to watch in the future, or you're catching up later, okay? Leave your comment. All right, the next one is plan for leftovers. That's amazing, right? How do you plan for leftovers? Some of us grew up in families where we do not have respect for leftovers. By that I mean, if you had gari remaining, the purpose to be so. Don't boil the yam. Best way is to package your leftover. For example, the yam, package your leftover and put either in the fridge or in the freezer. You can transform your boiled yam into a yummy fried yam. And as a matter of fact, you have more than one recipe to do with your leftover boiled yam. Number one on the list, make your yam frittata with it. All right. And number 3, you can make your yam balls and add some other ingredients and fry, and it becomes something very sumptuous. Are we together? You shouldn't joke with to store your food, trashing this food. Please do not trash this food. Have a plan for your leftover. You can always for the example that I gave, you can always transform your leftovers to something very sumptuous. Please do well to like this video, do well to leave a comment, and do well to share. Somebody on your contact list might want to. And if you are yet to subscribe What are you waiting for? Please go ahead and do that. Click the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell, so anytime we bring on these live sessions, you will be the first to be notified. And the videos that we are doing, we have not forgotten it. I told you that the next on our list is know your edikaikong soup, your vegetable soup. Most of us already know the nutritional value of pumpkin leaves. We're going to expand sheds more, and you will know. And in one of these lives, maybe the next one, we can even take the afang soup video we posted about knowing your afang soup and do a live with it, and you're going to learn more. In case you are yet to watch it, or in case you watched and you're yet to understand, you are going to have an opportunity to watch and ask questions. Okay, so do not miss anything. That's why you should subscribe, so anytime we have this live, you will be notified. I see that we have more than 3 people here, but it's just one like that is there. Do well to like. Topic again is how to spend less on feeding in 2024. And then number 1 on the list, I said limit eating out. I said yeah, I said swap from processed food. So don't prep by yourself, or you hire someone to do it for you. Number 6, I said reduce your family size if possible, especially your extended family. I do not mean that you should chase your children out. All right. And then number 7, I said swap from throwing it out to using it. And then I said make use of your overripe plantains and your overripe shopping from Lay's expensive places. And I said number 9, set your food budgets. And number 10, I said plan for your leftovers. Have a plan for your leftovers. Do not trash your food. Okay, gone are the days where people used to trash Gary that they made the previous day. Now you can microwave it. All right, and then you warm your soup and have a great time. Or you can fry your boiled yam, or you can transform your boiled rice to something very. Go ahead and give us the bonus comments. I'm going to respond giving us this bonus points. Question. All right, question. I'm gladly waiting for the question. The bonus point is, if you have a space, consider gardening. If you have a space, consider gardening. Okay, like if you plant things like bitter leaves, grass. So these are things you know that you're going to use often, right? Maybe you may consider growing things like okra, right? Those things that you know you can easily grow, depending location, right? So with that, we have come to the end of this life. Do well to still leave your questions afterwards, and in case you're just joining us, you can go through this video again and share the video. Do well to like, leave a comment, subscribe, and share this video to people around you.